So what you're looking at on screen right now is the Neo Geo Pocket Color, SNK's attempt at the handheld market that was pretty much dominated by the Nintendo Game Boy line of portable video game systems. Released in 1999 and serving as an update to the company's original Neo Geo Pocket monochrome system, the Pocket Color had its share of quality titles and some decently solid hardware to boot, with the nice clicky joystick thing and a battery backup built into the console itself. Sadly, due to a number of factors including SNK's initial bankruptcy, the Neo Geo Pocket Color was abandoned and relegated to being sold in these bargain bundle packages. I managed to procure one of these bundles from a mom-and-pop video store decades ago, and it came with 6 games, most of them being portable iterations of the usual SNK franchises such as King of Fighters and Metal Slug, but also included was a port of Pac-Man for the system, which was surprising to me at the time, because the last thing I would expect to appear on a Neo Geo system would be any semblance of Pac-Man. Still, I wasn't going to complain. 6 games was 6 games, even if half the bundle comprised fighting games. And well, if we're diving into this one, we might as well get the simplest game out of the way before tackling the rest sooner or later. Unfortunately, my inability to shoot a dimly lit screen and expect top-notch quality video from it while maintaining some semblance of comfort has resulted in the need to acquire footage from an emulator. And that means a nice blown-up display where everything looks blurrier and uglier than if you were to smash your face against the Neo Geo Pocket Color screen to study the image pixel by pixel. But I digress. Let's check out Pac-Man for the Neo Geo Pocket Color and get that one out of the way fairly quickly. When you start the game off, you have an option to choose between scrolling mode and full screen view. Basically, similar options you would find on other portable iterations such as the Game Gear and Game Boy. On scrolling mode, you have the full-size graphics and the majority of the maze is obscured from view. On the flip side, full screen view shrinks the maze down to fit the tiny screen of the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I often prefer to be able to see the whole maze at once since that's how Pac-Man traditionally plays. But for those who want the full-size, full-resolution graphics, the option is there for scrolling mode. It's certainly the good thing to have both options in plain view as opposed to the full-screen view being a hidden feature, as is the case with the Game Boy and Game Gear incarnations of Pac-Man. In any event, Pac-Man is given a respectable conversion onto the Neo Geo Pocket Color. The visuals have been retained from the arcade original and replicated to a near T, barring some minor details when playing in the scrolling mode, and the overall layout has been retained in full screen mode. It runs at a decent pace, there's no notable oddities that I'm aware of, and the intermissions have been retained for better or worse. Sound quality is alright, you have the familiar jingles, sound effects, and doohickeys from the arcade original, recreated to somewhat decent results. Some bits sound a bit higher pitched, but it's not a total game killer. The only thing that might be a sticking point with this version of Pac-Man is, strangely enough, control, and part of this has to do with the control stick itself. Now let me clarify, generally speaking, control in Pac-Man is pretty solid. You move the stick up to go up, move it down, blah blah blah. The buttons do nothing, of course, and the gameplay for the most part is classic and familiar. You roam around the maze, you eat all the dots, avoid the ghosts, power pellets do their usual thing, you collect fruit for bonus points. No real need to dig too deep there either. The control stick on the Neo Geo Pocket Color is a wonderful little thing when it comes to the fighting games, and it even works well with the Metal Slug and Sonic Pocket Adventure games that I have. But when it comes to Pac-Man, it perhaps feels a bit too overly sensitive, if that makes any sense. It seems as though the slightest nudge on the stick could send me careening in the wrong direction, and usually resulting in an unfortunate meeting with a ghost. This is only a minor quibble, however, and a slight adjustment and acclimation to the feel of the controls on this port makes the experience a little better. Overall, Pac-Man on the Neo Geo Pocket Color is a great conversion of an arcade classic that has seen its fair share of great conversion jobs, as well as not so great conversions. Plays rather well for the most part, looks the part, sounds great, no real complaints. With that having been said, there's nothing about this version of Pac-Man that makes it stand out from the rest. It's your typical cookie-cutter port that plays exactly how you expect it to play, and not much else. I suppose if you have a Neo Geo Pocket Color lying around and you happen to come across a copy for dirt cheap, however likely that may be these days, I suppose it's worth the pickup just to add another game to the meager collection of Neo Geo Pocket Color games, and also to add another to the pile of Pac-Man ports lying around. And if you don't have a Neo Geo Pocket Color, well, this game wouldn't be the reason to get one. Quite frankly, other games do a better job of selling the system than Pac-Man would, but as far as Pac-Man goes, this is a great port on the Pocket Color. Top notch, works well, no complaints really.